Fellas, I'm starting to understand that people who watch my channel want to get jacked. You know, we all have the same goals. We all want to gain muscle, lose fat. We want to look good on the beach. We want to have all these things. And this video is dangerous because I'm genuinely going to lay out exactly how you can do that because I've identified the one thing that's always kept me from doing that and how I've conquered that as well. So if you ever felt like you've almost got there, you've almost got to the point where you can become consistent, you can go to the gym every day, you can eat right all the time, it almost got to the point where it seemed effortless, but you never quite made it to that, this video is for you. But I need you to take notes, I need you to pay attention, and as always, if you're new to the channel, this is what I do. I break it down in the most simple way possible because I'm just like you guys, man. I'm the only guy out here who did it the hard way. Didn't all these new guys have these peptides, these pre-workouts, this? No. No shortcuts around here. Just pure, raw knowledge. And I'm going to give it to you guys straight and not sugarcoated as well. So let's get right into it. And there's a reason I have this graph on here. And there's a reason I have it the way I do as well. Consistency. Consistency is the key to obviously getting in shape. It's the key to improving anything in your life, right? But especially consistency is important when it comes to the gym and getting jacked.
You are never going to...
And there's a reason I have 3 points circled on here as well. When you're getting jacked, you have to follow a program. You have to have some non-negotiables. But there's going to be times where your progress, even if you are making good progress, your standard, deviation is going up, you're going to have times where you dip just a little bit. The thing is, you have to make sure you limit those. And don't worry, I'm going to break this down. I know this stuff is basic right now. We're going to get into more detail. But there's going to be times where you go back down. You might, have to go out to a family dinner and there's nothing healthy on the menu. You might have to miss 2 days in a row at the gym because the hotel you're staying at doesn't have a gym. You might have to, you might get a shoulder or back injury for a couple days and you can't train for a full week. That is okay. That is completely fine. Once you have the identity or the actual driven goal in mind that you're always going to improve, this is where the dip becomes, non-negotiable. It's like a stock, right? If Microsoft, right, you have a bunch of money saying Microsoft, and the stock dips a little bit and goes down 5% over the course of a week, and you have money in there, you're going to say, okay, Microsoft creates, the best computers and new computers every single day. I'm not too worried about it. Just like I'm not too worried if I miss the gym because, bro, I'll go to the gym every fucking day. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's okay. So how do we build this consistency and how do we point out these places in our lives where consistency is broken? Because I'll tell you right now, if you work on motivation or discipline, your graph is going to look something more like this. You're going to start and you're going to go, even higher, even quicker. Bad marker. I got one good, one bad. This is the bad one. It's going to go even quicker. Boom. You're going to go up here. But then guess what? You're going to miss a day at the gym and it's going to be like, damn, my whole week is ruined. Now I'm down here. But you know what? I still have some motivation left over. I'm going to get all the way up here. But then, we all know what happens. And then you're all the way back down to the bottom. Your growth was good at the beginning, but you're all the way back down at the bottom. That's when you rely on motivation or you rely on discipline. You're never gonna get anywhere, right? It's all about your mind, and it's all about how hard you can force yourself, or the identity that you can put yourself into, to where you're just somebody who you lift, bro. Like, you are in great shape. You eat healthy. So we have 3 key pillars that I'm gonna go over, starting with number 1, which is maybe the most important, why I'm putting it first. Non-negotiables. Now, why are non-negotiables so important, Tanner? What does that mean? I know what you're asking. Non-negotiables are obviously something that you program or something that you do that you do not even give yourself the choice to miss, okay? What I mean by that is, if you are somebody who wants to get in great shape, there's a lot of things you have to do. You have to eat right, you gotta eat right, so no pizza, you know what I'm saying? You gotta eat right. You got to go to the gym. Let's draw a little dumbbell here. You got to go to the gym. Okay, boom. You go to the gym. You got to have good clothes while you work out, so you look good, so you feel good. You got to have an early wake up time, so you're not missing. There's a lot of things you have to do. But you have to make one of those non-negotiable. So I'm saying no matter what happens in life, you have to make sure you're there. And I'll tell you a little story that's gonna cement this into your mind. The other day, one of my boys called me in the morning. He said, "Hey Tanner, LeBron James is coming to our state, right? Detroit, which is still 3 hours from my house. LeBron James is coming, right? And, you know, the game is tonight. It's going to be his last game ever here, you know, this and that. Like, we got to go to this game. It's today. We have to go to this game, right? I had to work that day. I still had to make content. There's a lot of shit I had to do. If you watch my video from the other day, you saw that my hotel was in Detroit. So, obviously, I went to the game. But I am in the middle of an aggressive hard cut. I'm trying to cut because I have a trip to LA in 2 weeks. You know, I got to lose some weight so I look good on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And it's been going great. If you've been keeping up with me, you know I'm losing weight faster than anybody thought possible and retaining all my muscle because my systems work. But I digress. So the point with that is I said, all right, I moved so many things around. But guess what I didn't move around? My non-negotiable, which is hard and consistent training. You just got to pick one, and mine is training, okay? You don't have to be perfect on the diet and the training and this and that and the other and everything every day. But if you have one key pillar, right, that you make yourself do every single day, no matter the circumstances, your progress, it'll cease to stop because you always have that pillar backing you up. It's like that's, you know, relating this back to stocks, it's like when you have a stock and it's got that one big investor who's just always putting recurring investments in that stock. It's always just going to go up just that little bit because there's the backbone. It's the backbone. So you have to have one non-negotiable, whether that's your training, whether that's your diet. I know some people, right, like carnivore diet people, right, their non-negotiables that they only eat meat and they eat super healthy, you know, that's debatable, but super healthy every single day, and that's their non-negotiable. So if they miss a training session here and there, it's okay because the fuel they're putting in their body is all right. You got to pick what's right for you. So when I went to that game, I still hit my workout. I missed my macros just a little bit, not by a lot, not by as much as you would think, but I still hit my workout. I'm still on track for a cut right now. And sometimes you'll even do crazy things to make sure that happens. Like we not broke in, but, you know, got into a college gym that we didn't even have access to just so I could hit some abs and do my cardio yesterday. Like, that's the thing that you got to take far. But number two is going to be just as important. Let me get into that right now. Number two is going to be planning. Now, planning, there's a very specific way you have to do this, okay? Planning is going to skyrocket consistency. No matter what gets in your way, no matter what gets put out in front of you, if you plan or have a rough plan, it's going to be so much easier. For example, in a day, if you know to move forward, you have to hit your macros, you have to hit the gym, you have to implement a new workout in the gym because your old back day doesn't feel quite as good, so you got to implement a new workout. You got to go to work, still got to make money. You got to work on schoolwork. You have this big list of things that you must do tomorrow, right? In your mind, if you don't plan that out, it's just going to be some big jumbly list of like productivity that you feel like you have to get done, right? And it's going to be super unorganized. It's going to be hard to stick to that. So when you wake up in the morning, right, you're not even going to know what to do first. You might go to the gym, but then, you know, something else might come up and you have to, you know, you got to go to work early. So you're at work and then you ended up missing some stuff because you never had a plan in the first place. If you plan with a journal, which is, I mean, pretty good, you know, if you ask me, it's a pretty good drawing. If you plan with a journal, right, it makes your tasks so much easier. Instead of having these arbitrary things you think or you even know that you have to do, you can just write down check boxes. What I do is I do 5 needle moving tasks every single day that I must get done. So for today, whiteboard video, check. You know, I'm making it right now. Okay, I have to, I gotta post 3 reels on Instagram. You know I'm doing that. I have to edit and upload this video. I have to go hit the gym and hit chest today. There's a lot of things that I have to do, right? Or a lot of things that I get to do, rather. If I didn't have them written down, I might miss a couple because I'm not properly organized, especially if something like an NBA game or something even more minuscule pops up, I'm definitely going to miss out. But since I simplified it, planned ahead, and instead of having these arbitrary tasks, all I have to do is this. All I have to do is this. Check off boxes. I'm just checking boxes. That's all you're doing, right? So if at the bare minimum you just want to get into the gym, at the bare minimum, that's all you want to do. Write down 5 things you can do in the gym that you need to get done that will actually push your physical health forward and drive you on some progress, and it's just checking boxes. That's all it is. Trust me, that is much simpler in the long term than having arbitrary tasks you don't even know how to follow. Check boxes, check boxes. Very, very simple stuff. But it will get you further than all this complicated information that people make you pay for. But I digress on that. And number 3, this might be the one that might be the toughest to actually fix. But this is also the one that most people fail because of. You know, most people don't fix this, and that's why most people do fail. But your environment. Your environment is going to be key to whether you can progress through your goals or whether you can even have the circumstances set up to progress through your goals in the first place. What do you mean by that? This one's going to be hard, but simple. This one's going to be the simplest one. If you have people around you that are pulling you away from your goals, people around you that are maybe perhaps even judging you for trying to work on yourself, things like that, or pulling you in bad directions, trying to get you to do things that aren't pushing you further, right? If you have that around you, it's going to be impossible to execute and perform the first 2. That's why this one's so important. For example, if you are, you want to get up early and you want to go to the gym, right? You want to go to the gym and you want to eat right, but at 12 o'clock, halfway through your gym workout, your buddy says, hey, I got these plans, bro. We got to go out to this restaurant to do this, and like we have to do it. I need you to be there, like things like that, right? Like if for example, something like that happens, you are going to be pulled away from actually moving towards your goals. And then on top of that, if you do withstand the peer pressure, if you do say, hey man, I can't do that tonight, I can't make that happen, but let's do another night, and they get mad at you, or they're like, oh bro, like, dude, I knew this was gonna happen, like you're not gonna hang out, you're just going to the gym, this stuff like that, then you're really gonna get pulled away from your goals. Because somebody's pulling you in one direction or the other. It's up to you to see which way you go. But it's not, how are you going to go forward if you're being pulled to the left and to the right, right? You need to be able to steer, and you need to be able to progress forward. It's just like a car. Think about it that way, right? So your environment is super, super, super important. And the first 2 things, like I said, don't matter if you don't have your environment in check. You see what I'm saying? So my recommendation for that would be to, if you do have people around you who are pushing you forward, or maybe like they're helping you get into stuff like this, great. That's fantastic. But the chances are you probably don't, because most people, most people aren't in shape. Most people aren't, millionaires and everything like that, right? Most people aren't going to be pulling you in that direction. So you have to make sure that those people have a limited amount of time in your life, to be completely honest. So your environment is super, super duper important when it comes to achieving your goals. If you can combine these 3 pillars though, that is when you build the true consistency. So remember, build that non-negotiable. Do that one thing that you do no matter what, no matter how much you don't like it at first, no matter what you're supposed to do at that time, no matter what, just get it done every single day, right? The key first pillar that everything else will build around. Number 2, journal, journal or plan, or make sure that what's coming ahead is actually planned out so you can just check off boxes. And number 3, make sure the people around you are supporting that, or at least not dragging you away from what you're trying to get done. You combine those 3 things, you'll be well on track to getting in shape. You'll be well on track to just achieving any goal that you could possibly fathom. And it'd be harder for you not to achieve those goals if you truly fulfill what I told you. But that's going to be all I got for you in this video. If you want to learn more, if you're new to the channel, read in the description. You can check me out on Instagram, where I answer all my questions. I have so many people asking questions, but I still answer them all. Or leave a comment on the video. If you really want to talk to me, you can book a call on the bottom. You guys know I'm the best coach around, but I'm not even going to promote that in this one. But thank you guys for watching. Good luck. Remember, implement this or it will be useless. Have an amazing rest of your day.